Good evening, welcome to night number 7 then, here in Gibraltar. We're coming to the end of the very first week of the 2023 season, and what a week it's been. We've had ups and downs for all 4 sides involved in the tournament already, with all teams already taking a couple of losses here in the first week. All to play for then here in Gibraltar. We're ready to get right underway then with the next few matches here this evening. It's going to be all happening here in Gibraltar as we get underway for the FanCode European Cricket T10 here in Gibraltar with myself, Charlie Hunt, on the European Cricket Network.
Well, that's exactly where we are then here, the Europa Point Stadium here in Gibraltar for the 7th evening of cricket. And what an evening of cricket we've got coming away. 2 big matches then as the Entertainers take on the Pirates here in matches 13 and 14. Taking a look then here at the lineups for both teams then, as Pirates are currently sat 4 and 2 at the moment. And of course Entertainers 2 and 3 at this point in time. And a couple of names that aren't here today. No Louis Bruce for Entertainers. That's a big miss. And again, also looking at the Pirates, they've also not got a man who came in for one evening and one evening only. He was very, very positive with both bat and ball, but he's not playing here this evening. And that, of course, is Mr. West, who misses out. But again, key names to look out for then. Avinash Pai and Stephen Gonzalez at the top of the order for Entertainers. And then also Matthew Wheeling, Gideon Crichton as well with bat and ball as well. Then looking at Pirates, again, must-win games for both sides here. Looking at those, that selected 11, a big name in Lorne Burns and Richard Cunningham as well with the ball in hand, as alongside Kenroy Nestor. But Nestor's been a superb man with the bat in hand throughout this tournament, as has Andrew Reyes and Christian Rocker. They've been a real top 3 that's been rather difficult to get through. And they added West to the mix yesterday, and it was an even better outcome. Of course, they took one from 2 yesterday. But a very good evening to everyone tuning in around the world, whether it be on FanCode in India or on the ECN European Cricket Network YouTube channel. Take a look then at the all-important supercomputer and what it's saying about this evening's game. This first one here then, match number 13, it's talking about the expected score looking at around 94 for Entertainers, whereas it's only 86 for the Pirates. So this is an interesting call from the robot, the supercomputer. And I'm looking forward to seeing as to how true that will end up being. It certainly is another cold and brisk evening here in Gibraltar. It wasn't a real pleasant day yet again. It was a little bit different last time around yesterday. However, this evening it's another cold one, and there's a lot of woolly hats and snoods and jackets alike all being worn around the stadium. It's been a pleasure to bring you this first week of coverage. Then one more night to go until it's replacement time, and it will be Rico Fu will be taking the coverage from Saturday onwards. And I know he's obviously going to be very much looking forward to coming back on the air in 2023, but I know he's been paying attention and he's been keeping an eye out on a certain few as well. Umpires then for match number 13, the on-field officials are, of course, Jeremy and 7, and number 3 is Steve Mumford. Sebastian Maynard alongside Jeremy there. As you can see at the top of the innings then, top of the order, Avinash Pai for the Entertainers. And again, it's been a mixture of a tournament. Of course, celebrated his birthday only a couple of days ago in that nice cold and wet weather. Of course, here the night series then here today. Kenroy Nestor at the top of the order for the Pirates. And that's going to be a real crucial battle here between Kenroy Nestor and Avinash Pai. That's a real thrilling start to a nice evening of cricket here in Gibraltar. Certainly looking forward to the next couple of hours or so, as it looks as if it's going to be a thrilling contest between two teams that, again, early on in the tournament, are really going to be hoping to try and get 2 more victories to their name. total of 4 points up for grabs in both matches 13 and 14. But certainly looking forward to this one. There is Kenroy Nestor then at the end of his mark. Avinash Pai just taking his guard. Again, struggled a little bit as Avinash Pai. He's carrying a bit of a knock on a knee of his, but he's hoping to play through. And we are ready to get underway, and it is going to be Kenroy Nestor of the Pirates here in match number 13. Well, it's not going to be. It's a full start. Just teasing us is Kenroy Nestor. But again, a nice cold, chilly evening here in Gibraltar, but certainly looking forward to what's going to be another thrilling evening of cricket. But again, looking like it's going to be a super duper evening here in Gibraltar. Kenroy Nestor to start us off then. And he starts with a wide down the leg side. Not quite the start that Nestor would have been wanting, especially after a false start. See there, he's rubbing his hands together and it's a little bit chilly. It's a very, very cold, windy evening yet again. It's not again, today's weather has not been very good at all. It's been a chilly, grey day once more. And this one nips in, and that might have caught a bit of flesh. I think it has, because he's walking and running a little bit gingerly as Avinash Pai. That might have caught him just away from both pads. Take a look here. He takes that classic step down and across, and yeah, that looks as if it's got him right on the flesh. It's a leg bye to start. Good evening, though, to the likes of James Stewart. Iggy Higgins is in the house as well. Mike Seal as well. Good evening to you. To Michael as well. Always a pleasure to have the usuals in, but also to everyone tuning in on FanCode in India. Very good evening to you. A little bit late in the day for you, but very glad you're here joining us as Stephen Gonzalez is on strike. And this one takes a nip away, and right on the money straight away is Kenroy Nestor. And this is swatted, and that one's taken on the shin. There's a few giggles around the ground, and like, always good to see that Stephen Gilbert's all okay, because that looked as if he didn't really have much of a clue about it. We'll take a look at it again here. It was swatted, and swatted hard by Gonzalez, and well, that reaction and that replay doesn't quite catch it, but it's straight to log on. Well, Lorne Burns' reaction there at the bottom of your screen tells you everything, because that rocketed off his shin. Well, that's gonna leave a mark. And another great delivery once more from Nestor, swinging away from the right-handed Pai. You can see once more it's Nestor trying to get those hands as warm as possible and as quickly as possible, but he's on the money straight away. And this is down the leg side. And this will be signalled as a wide. Rightly so, of course. Anything down that leg side gets called. And he has to bowl that one once more. This is short but stays low. And Avinash Pai is still yet to get off the mark. He's just taking a look at the pitch and saying, well, how has that gone below my knees? Because it was pitched about halfway up, but seemed to just pea-roll along the floor. Of course, some names in the squads that we haven't quite seen yet in this tournament, looking to give themselves a chance. Last ball then here of the first, and this is a good shout and given. And Avinash Pai, his tournament goes from not so good to a lot worse. He goes for a full-ball duck, and that was a superb lead from Kenroy Nestor. Simple cricket, nice and straight from the bowler, nice and full. And Avinash Pai, with his usual step across, gets it all wrong, plays round it, and it doesn't get much more plumb than that. And the first wicket goes, and it's a good over for the Pirates. Entertainers 4 for 1 after 1. And it's another disappointing start to the evening for that man, Avinash Pai. He's a veteran in the game of cricket here in Gibraltar. And it's just not going his way this evening. He's not really been able to quite kick off, and he'll be disappointed, but he knows he's going to have a job to do with the ball in hand. That's a given, really. Take a look at this one again. It doesn't get much easier than that for an umpire. And Kenner Nestor gets the big wicket. 4 for 1 after 1 then. And Buyan just letting me know that it's midnight in Bangladesh. Well, we appreciate you all staying up a little bit later. This is the stats gun then for these two teams here in match 13. This is, of course, as recent as yesterday evening. You can see there Nestor is really key for Pirates. He's first in terms of bats on runs on the board, but he's third in terms of wickets as well. Andrew Reyes then. And starts just back of a length, and Simon Morgan does the work, and it's just a single. And you can hear that the ever-present voice of Lorne Burns then for Pirates. You can guess where he is. He's at long on. No real surprise. Oh, this one could be close again. Turned down. But again, it's a super delivery. This one angling in. It's a first ball for Whelan. And that was is a close one. Deemed to not be going on to hit the stumps. There possibly could have been a bit of bat involved, but not to be then. But a very good start, though, for Andrew Reyes. He's on the money straight away. And again, this time pushed by Matthew Whelan. And it gets through Richard Cunningham. And that's a rare miss for Mr. Cricket Gibraltar here. And he gets this one completely wrong. And he'll be the first to admit that that's very uncharacteristic of him. But Whelan gets off the mark with a lovely boundary. That's 4.
I don't remember it being on before.
Well, there he is, Cunningham. And he's gone for the beanie option. Let's have a few tonight. But that's a good start for Matthew Whelan. And this is just clipped down the ground, and this will be a single. Lorne Burns there will do the work. He's also opted for the beanie. And again, Andrew Reyes gets it right into the block hole. And with that in-swinging dipper that he has, it's such a difficult delivery to deal with. And there's no real surprise to see that he's been rather successful with ball in this tournament. Currently got 4 wickets to his name. Of course, he took his best figure so far against the Entertainers of 2 for 9. This is a nice shot from Whelan. This has got through. Don't think it's going to have the legs to go all the way. It shouldn't. That's good work from Mark Garrett. And it will be, yet again, just another 2. And that'll be the end of another tidy over from Andrew Reyes. It only goes for 9. But there was, of course, that misfield. So he'll feel a little bit hard done by. But at the end of the second over, Entertainers are 13 for 1. Story of the tale then. First versus fourth. Top of the table takes on bottom. And, well, the difference is 4 points. And well, Entertainers, if they take 2 victories here this evening, they go level with the Pirates. And Pirates have looked the better of the 4 sides, although they've had moments of not so brilliant. So they'll be knowing they need to go ahead and put a good performance in here this evening up against a strong Entertainers side, although missing a few big names with the likes of Louis Bruce not involved. No Paddy Hatchman either, but of course that's the benefit, as there's only 4 teams in the tournament, so the squads were stretched out, and there's a lot of names and numbers behind each team. This is short, and this will be over the top, and it'll race away. The chase is on, and I don't think he's going to get there. It'll be 4 off the high end of the bat for Stephen Gonzalez, but it's a boundary nonetheless, and that was a nice shot. Waited on it nicely. Too short though from Nestor, and the extra pace certainly helps, and that's going to be 4. And a wild swipe, and that's got Rocker, but I don't think it's got Rocker on the pad. I think he's going to be hobbling for a little bit after that, and he also sails away for a boundary. So Rocker not looking as tentative or as quick as he normally has done behind the stumps early on. That does go for another boundary. That'll be 4 byes. Good to see that a lot of people tuning in then this evening. Coming towards the end of the first week, of course, here in Gibraltar. We started last Friday night. This is the 7th night then. 7th night on the trot. Of course, we've only missed 1 game that will be rescheduled. That's a superb comeback from Nestor. That's back of a length, but nips away from the waving bat of Gonzalez. You can see there. This time Rocker is equal to it, and he does take it cleanly. It's a wild swipe up in the air. It's going to evade the hand of Nishant Joshi, and it's going to race away yet again for 4 more. We've seen a few runs behind square early on in this game. A few more than we've come to expect, but it's still another boundary, and if you're going to swing, swing hard. That's exactly how Steven Gonzalez goes about his business, and it's another 4. Oh, Mohammed White saying, why is Lorne Burns not playing? Lorne Burns is playing. I can see him at mid-on. This is no ball. Well, there could be a mix-up here as Whelan was on the run, but it's not being called. And you can see there, square leg was waiting for it, and he had his eye on it, and it's been called a no ball for behind square. So I don't think he was in quite in the circle when that ball was bowled. That's good officiating from that Sebastian Maynard there. It's that camera angle, I think, confirms it. You can see it on its way through. Not given. Free hit then. And it won't cost them anything. That's good bowling from Nestor. He'll be riled up after that no ball as well. He won't be happy. Of course, we saw him give us an idea of a death stare a few days ago. I have a feeling that might be a similar mood as to what he's feeling right now. Good evening to Felipe as well. Joins us in the chat. How are you, Felipe? Let us know how you're doing. Last ball of the power play then. It's short, pulled and pulled nicely. And that'll be 1 bounce 4. Nice way to end the power play. And Antenas, they're looking pretty comfortable after losing that early wicket. They're going at 10s and 3 overs down. They are 30 for 1. Well weighted by Gonzalez, has to be said. And the extra pace of Nestor really makes that 10 times easier to just help it on its way. And that's a nice way to end the over 30 for 1 after 3 here in Gibraltar. Match 13, Entertainers versus Pirates then. This is the story so far. Of course, 3 overs down. That first wicket falling in the first over as Avinash Pai went without scoring. Again, was not what he would have been wanting. But luckily for him, Steven Gonzalez is looking pretty comfortable out in the middle at the moment. New bowler then here for the Pirates. It's Mark Garrett, and well, this is helped on its way, and it's going to run away. I don't think it should go all the way. It won't be. It's collected in the end, but it's a wide delivery that down the leg side realistically normally is taken and left for a wide, but Whelan takes it on. Bit of a top edge and helps it on its way. Well, this time it will be a wide. left alone this time by Whelan, and rightly so, he gets another ball from it. And this time into the pads, but once more deemed to be most likely missing leg. Take a look at the replay here. Looks as if the impact was outside leg possibly as well, but again stays low, and the pitch is misbehaving slightly here this evening. Of course, it's a new, relatively new. It's a year old now, this pitch, or a little bit more than. This is hit nicely down the ground. Will just be one more to that total. And Gonzalez on the back foot, swats down the ground. Nestor also opting for the beanie. There's a few beanies out there today because it's very, very cold. This time offside, and it's going to get through, and it's going to go all the way. That's a nice shot, hit firmly from Whelan, and he's looking pretty comfortable with the elevation up to number 3. This was struck firmly, but Morgan gets it all wrong. It goes through, and it will be another boundary, 4 more. This over's gone for 9 already from Garrett. Last delivery left then. Swatted nicely, however, straight onto the stumps, and deviates down to long on for another single. 10 off the over, and still going at 10s exactly. As they are 40 for 1 after 4. We've had an unfortunate run out, but it's not this time. Four overs down, 40 for 1 then, here for the end 10. It's a good start, good positive start as well, because after losing Avinash Pai for none, of course that was a superb delivery from Kenner and Nestor though. They've needed these two to just take a couple of overs to give themselves a bit of time, but they're now going to take on the bowling then here of the Pirates. Looks as if the new bowler here is going to be Simon Morgan. Of course, Christian Rocker leading the squad here today. No Grimes then this evening. And this is an outside edge, and will just be single. Garrett is the fielder. Short third man.
Let's go.
Nicky Higgins saying there's still some good bowling to come. Certainly is. And they've already got the danger man in Avinash Pai. They need to we'll find a way of breaking this partnership, because this could be a crucial one. This is pushed. Again, not timed at all. They're going to take on the arm, and they will get back pretty safely once more. And that is another 2 to the total. Morgan just landing it on a good spot at the moment. And again, leg side once more. Stephen Gilbert, he's been busy. He's taken one on right and flush on the shin early in the innings. And then this time, he's been busy once more down at deep square leg, and he's rubbing that shin just to the right of me. Understandably so as well. And this is an appeal, but turned down as Whelan getting this one a little bit wrong. No Lorne Burns with the ball yet, which is interesting, of course. He'll be looking to add to his tally of wickets. And this is going to be a wide down the offside. Just confirming that. And that was received and was down as a wide. And this will be another one. Could take though from Rocker. Did well to watch that all the way. As soon as it goes down the leg side as a keeper, it's a bit of a guessing game. You don't really know what to expect, but he does well to watch that one and watch it for as long as possible. Now this time, nice and straight and full, and Wheeler can do is just chip this down the ground, and it's another single. And this one gets a little bit of nip back into the bowler, into the batsman even, but it will be a single to end the over again, and it's been a pretty tidy one with just 8 from it. And at the end of the 5th, Entertainers are 48 for 1 here then. You can see again there's enough layers to keep me warm here in Gibraltar. But this is a good start though for the Entertainers, isn't it? Halfway stage, 48 on the board. They'll be hoping they can push up towards that 100 or anything above 100 mark as they look to try and get their winning form back into the right manner here in Gibraltar. But of course, it's been a nice first week of cricket, only missing 1 game to weather, which is pretty handy. Of course, that game will be rescheduled and played again at a later date. But certainly looking forward to that game between the Sloggers and Entertainers once more later on. Richard Cunningham then starts with a wide. And pretty happy as that was probably a Gundy ball and didn't get dispatched. So it's just a wide. This is going to be another one, and this is a little bit unlike Richard Cunningham. He starts with 2 wides to start his over. Very uncharacteristic of him. And this time pushed into the offside for a single. This is pulled nicely. And once more, is straight to deep square leg in Stephen Gilbert, and it's another single, and they're doing a good job of keeping these boundaries down to a minimum at the moment. This time is just respected by Gonzalez and just pushed back to the bowler for a dot ball, and that's the difference, isn't it? Is knowing what ball to attack and what not to. Swatted and swatted hard, and it's another boundary. And well, that's going to bring a sigh of relief for the Entertainers. It had been a while since their last one, but that certainly helps proceedings. It's too short from Cunningham. He's not been on the money here, and it's another 4. First boundary then since the 4th over, that is, so. This is leg side again, Q end of the bat. Reyes will do the work. And it's just a single once more. Whelan on strike then. Apologies for the lack of on-screen graphics. Just an issue our end, trying to fix as soon as possible for you. The joys of technology sometimes. This is hit firmly down the ground. Lorne Burns will collect it, and it'll be another single, and it brings an end to the over. 10 off it once more. And at the end of the 6th, Entertainers 58 for 1. Story then so far for the bowling side in the Pirates. 1 wicket down. That was off the bowling of Cameron Nestor, who bowled pretty well against the openers. And Reyes as well, also.
Boys, we are
Good evening then, welcome back. Sorry about that little pause. It was something that was completely out of our control. But we are ready to get things back underway then here in Gibraltar. And I can inform you of what's going to happen then. So we're going to start the 7th over here then. And it's going to be a 8-match over. So of course, due to the lost time, we're going to go to 8 overs per team. And then at the end of this first innings, we will have a revised total, of course, due to the circumstances here in Gibraltar. A huge thank you for everyone, though, for having a bit of patience with us. It was something that was completely out of our control. We hope you are ready to get back underway here as players and umpires are all put back out into the middle. And, of course, apologies to everyone, as it wasn't something that was really up to us. It was... well, from what we're being told, it was almost an entire country that was out of power for a moment. But I think they're slowly getting back to where they needed to be. But you can see there, 8 overs is what's going to be this game. And it will mean that Lorne Burns is only going to get 1 over. And I'm sure if the Pirates were thinking of their tactics, that's not exactly what they would have been hoping for. But Lorne Burns is going to come in here then and bowl the 7th over. We're ready to get back underway then after a slight pause in play. Lorne Burns then for the Pirates. Oh dear, and well, straight back into European cricket style, and Gonzalez takes one right into the stomach and right on the hand, if anything. Whelan struck that firmly off the bowling of Lorne Burns, but Gonzalez wasn't able to get out of the way. Good to see that he's okay though, but it's a dot ball to start. Wild swing, and that one turning away from the right-handed Whelan, and once more misses there. A huge thanks to everyone for their patience. We understand it's not the ideal situation, but we were able to get going as quick as possible as soon as the lights came back on. And this is struck nicely. That's a lovely shot from Whelan. That's going to evade the diving man at mid-wicket, and it's going to go all the way. And that's the first boundary of the return then here in Gibraltar, and it's off the bat of Mr. Matthew Whelan. And this was a nice shot. 2 full, though, from Lorne Burns, and Whelan took a little bit of a step out of the crease, and that's a lovely shot against a very experienced campaigner in Lorne Burns. So Lorne Burns trying to have a change in the field then, as they're just going to make sure that we're all okay here in Gibraltar and we're ready, all good to continue. And this is swatted leg side yet again, and Reyes this time in the correct position, and it will just be a single. But this is a good over, coming back from a period of about 10-15 minutes of no cricket or anything. People getting a bit cold standing out here. There was a jacket to put on straight away. Gonzalez has come back into the frame. He thinks he's been attacked by his partner. And this is once more leg side. Reyes pulls out of the attempt of a catch, and understandably so in this circumstances when you've only got an over left after this one. You want to just try and keep runs down to the minimum. Again, block hole, and they're going to take it on, and a better throw would have had Mr. Whelan in trouble, but it's an eventful end to an eventful few moments of cricket here in Gibraltar, and at the end of the 7th over, entertainers are 64 for 1. So just to reiterate then, here in Gibraltar, lost 2 overs of play due to that power cut that was experienced all around the country in Gibraltar. So we lost those 2 overs. So that means that whatever is made at the end of this 8 over period, of course after this over, then that'll be revised, and a new target will be set, of course, due to the circumstances of the fact that, of course, the entertainers wouldn't have been aware that they were going to lose 2 overs. So, of course, just have to take circumstances into account. It does look as if Andrew Reyes is going to bowl the final over of the innings then. It is going to be Reyes then here in the 8th and final over. He's He's on the money straight away. This is just outside the off stump, and it'll be pushed for a single. Advances, push for just the one. They may take on the call of two. It's Lorne Burns doing the fielding and correctly make the choice to not take on the arm of Burns. It's just one more single. But of course, this is the last over, so they're going to want to try and get as many runs on the board here against the tidy bowling of Reyes. Yet to take a wicket in this game. He'll be hoping he can do so, though, here. Swatted leg side. Joshi will try and do the work, but he dives over the ball, and it will be another two. They take on the arm of Garrett this time, and it's a pretty comfortable second for Gonzalez, who moves on to 30. Wild swipe from Steven Gonzalez, missing out on a straighter delivery from Reyes. And once more, it's a dot ball, and it's again another tidy over up till this point. 2 deliveries left in the innings then. And tries to get funky. He'll get a leg by for his issues and for his troubles, but it's an interesting shot to take on. It's a shot that we haven't seen attempted by Gonzalez at all, but he gets a leg by for his attempt. Last delivery then here of an eventful first match here in Gibraltar. And Whelan on strike. And it's not going to be a boundary. They're going to go boundaryless in the last over, and it will just be one to finish the innings, and they will finish on exactly 70 for 1 after their 8 overs. It's been an interesting first innings in match number 13, losing 2 overs to a power cut. But of course, a huge thanks to everyone for their patience and tuning back in. And it's an interesting one here, as the Entertainers have set, they finish on 70 for 1, I should say, after 8. Of course, that will be a revised total, and of course, do pay attention to the broadcast to find out what that revised total will be. Taking a look at the highlights then, here in a very interesting first innings. It was a bad start for their Entertainers, losing their star man in Avinash Pai, going for just none. He wasn't able to trouble the scorers, and that brought the very, very crucial partnership of Steven Gonzalez and Matthew Whelan. And Matthew Whelan probably a little bit higher than we have seen him already in this tournament, but he's proved to be very consistent. That was a tough cookie to crumble there for Kenro Nestor, but there was a flash of the bat from Steven Gonzalez, and if you're going to flash hard, and it's exactly what he did, and he got some runs for his troubles. That was a no ball, and that was a big mistake, as there was a man outside of the ring when he really shouldn't have been, and of course they didn't pounce on the free hit, but it was still a no ball. And then there were some nice shots though from Whelan, as he finished on 26 not out off of 21. Gonzalez finishing 30 not out off of 24 as well, which means that the Entertainers finish on 70 for 1. However, we will have to wait and find out to see what the revised target will be for the Pirates. So 70 for 1 then after 8 overs, as we return in a matter of moments then for the response from Pirates. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the FanCode European Cricket T10 with myself, Charlie Hunt, on the European Cricket Network. Good evening, welcome back to the eventful Europa Point Stadium here in Gibraltar for the response of the Pirates here in match 13, as they have a revised target of 74 for victory off of the 8 overs. And as long as we don't have any other issues, it'll be a full 8 overs as well. And of course that means that we shouldn't lose any time towards that last game then. Change here then at the top of the order for Pirates. Lorne Burns will be taking the first delivery. He's joined by top run scorer for Pirates at the moment, Kenroy Nestor, with the very elegant beanie being worn by Nestor as well. Of course, no good fellow here for the entertainers here this evening, so will mean that Charles Borastero is going to be the wicketkeeper for the entertainers. First up then is going to be Gideon Crichton for the entertainers here in the second innings, and certainly looking forward to this chase. It's going to be an interesting one. I need to go at 9 1/4 and over. But a very good evening then to everyone tuning back in here on the European Cricket Network, whether it be on our YouTube channel or on FanCode in India. A huge thanks to everyone once more. Just to reiterate, a huge thank you for your patience over the last 25 minutes or so. Of course, we lost 2 overs due to a power cut that was nationwide. As Crichton is ready to get us underway then for the response. And Lorne Burns off the mark straight away with a single. Bowling options are interesting for entertainers. This comes in a long way. That's watched in the end from Nestor, because that swung at a country mile. Started then looking as if it was possibly going wide, and then nips in as well. Does well to not block that onto his stumps, but a good start from Crichton here. Dragged leg side. Gonzalez is the man at deep mid wicket. He'll come round and will just be yet again one more to that total. So an interesting situation here. Of course, only going to be bowling 8 overs of play. And once more, tucking in for room, and Nestor is only able just to block this back as he's nipping it. That nips in even further this time. And yet again, he's angling in towards Nestor, who's not quite been able to match up to Gideon Crichton at the moment. So just a reminder as well then. So 3 bowlers can of course bowl their 2 overs, and then 2 will be restricted to just 1. Last delivery then of the first. Waited on this nicely from Nestor. He'll keep the strike. It will be a single, and it's a tidy over from Crichton to start off. And at the end of the first, Pirates 4 for none. "72 matches now then without a golden ball, and of course we are yet to have one in 2023. Of course, that last one coming last year. But very much looking forward to what's yet to come here this year. Plenty of cricket coming your way, and I know for a fact that there'll be a few golden balls in there as well. Certainly looking forward to bringing the coverage here throughout the year. Enjoyed my first year as on the commentary team last year. Looking forward to what's more to come, as it looks like it's going to be Harshdeep Singh then for the entertainers. And then starts with a full toss, and that's straight towards Crichton. He's in the game almost every delivery up until this point. Full toss, and probably would argue that he's got away with one there. But it's a loosener to start then for Singh. And this one gets away. It's a good stop though from Bodestedo. Singh certainly seemed rather pleased with that one, nipping away off the seam. That's always one of the benefits of playing here in Gib, is the pitch is obviously rather new, and it means that there's a bit in it for all types of bowlers and also batsmen as well. And this one getting a serious lift. And Nestor at the moment is getting a real test of patience. He's now 2 off 6. That one zipping up and really getting through. And at the moment, this certainly is proving to be a bit of a bowler's paradise. And then this time stays low, but it will evade Bodestedo. And then it will come through for a bite. But this pitch is misbehaving ever so slightly this evening. Of course, have to remember that these two teams will go at it again in a double-header today. So they'll be back later on this evening, 9:30 local time. And this is a big appeal and given. And the big wicket of Lorne Burns is taken by Harshdeep Singh, caught, trapped in front. And he has to make the long dreaded walk back to the pavilion. And he's probably going to argue, I'm quite far down the pitch. He's a long way out of the crease. And you can see here just how far down he is. Hits him halfway up. Again, no use of ball tracking, so we have to go with what's on field. And at the end of the second over, or almost at the end of the second over, a big wicket goes, 5 for 1. New batsman then, and take another look at that one then. And boy, Burns wasn't happy, but it's a difficult one for an umpire because you just can't, especially the way that this pitch is. If you're just going off this over alone, you can't really predict as to where the ball is going to go, and you're just going off the tick list as an umpire. And well, there was enough greens there to give the decision. Andrew Reyes, the man coming in at number 3, last delivery here of the second. And oh dear, it's all happening. Bit of yes, no, maybe. And that will be a wicket maiden for Harshdeep Singh. And at the end of the second over, Pirates 5 for 1. So, of course, that is the end of the revised power play then. And we can take a look here. The story so far, of course, it's a revised total of 74 for the entertainers. And well, that was a wicket maiden. It's very rare that you see those in European cricket, especially here on the European Cricket Network. But Harshdeep Singh will certainly be taking that. Gideon Christian won't continue, though. And the new bowler will be none other than Tom Bedson, and this is hit firmly leg side, however straight to Stephen Gonzalez, and it's a 1-2 the total. And Will Jennings just showing his appreciation for the batting in a beanie. And it is cold, of course, here in right on the southern tip of Europe. I'm surprised to see there's not more beanies being worn all around. I'm wrapped up warm. And I know everyone else up here is wrapped up warm as well. There's gloves, hats, and everything in between. And this one is going to be signalled a wide. And rightly so as well. Anything that touches that blue line is judged to have been outside. That will be a wide for Bedson. He'll have to bowl that one again. Well, that one this time nipping in, and of course still on that blue line, so it'll be another wide. But yes, interesting matchup now as that run rate's creeping up towards 11 and a half and over almost now. Need a couple of boundaries just to get themselves back into the swing of things. This is another wide and is left by Reyes, and we're on the verge of a pretty large long over already. Polar opposite to the previous over of a wicket maiden. Bedson just struggling to get his line and length right. He's on the money this time, and this will just be pushed offside. Yet again, Crichton, who can't get away from the game at the moment. Well, this is a full toss, no ball. It won't matter if taken, and Gonzalez, rightly so, doesn't even attempt it due to the risk of injury, but that's a serious, dangerous no ball as well. Good thing it's not at serious pace, because that could have been a sight for sore eyes. But free hit then, Reyes on strike. And well, that one almost comes onto the stumps, but it's yet again another no ball called, and it's another free hit then, pitching off the wicket, and Bedson is really struggling here. Oh, this one is low and skiddy, and it goes for 4. Whelan runs past this one, and that was firmly struck from Andrew Reyes, and it's going to be a very well needed boundary. Runs past it, goes over it in the end as Whelan. I wouldn't be surprised to see him bowling in this innings. But Reyes gets his first boundary. Well, this is an appeal and given. Excellent comeback from Tom Bedson, and an over that realistically he probably never wanted to see the replay of again. All of a sudden becomes a super duper over, and Reyes plays all round a straight one, and umpire takes his time, and his decision is given, and it's another wicket to fall then. And at the halfway stage of the third over, Pirates struggling 17 for 2. And that one really looked as if it was rather plump. And see here, takes a step across, out away swinging delivery, plays right across the line. Umpire waiting, and when you can see the batsman is waiting for the decision, he's running but also staring at the umpire to see if he's got away with one. That's when I think you know. New batsman then is Michael Lamin, and he's got a lot of pressure on his hands. He's going to have to try and stay there with Ken Roy at the moment, and this is going to be another wide. Straight back down to earth then for Tom Bedson. If it wasn't for that wicket, you'd argue that this over's not quite gone his way. This one is back on the money and creeps inside the line, and it'll be a rare dot ball. I mean, stepping away from it straight up, and that's never a good sign as a batsman, taking that first step away. Last delivery then, hopefully. It will be. This is struck away. And that will be a single to end the over, which means that Lamin will kick the strike. And at the end of the third, Pirates are 19 for 2. So this is the standings then at the moment. Pirates top of the table. And of course a victory here for the Entertainers puts them level on points with Rugby CC. Of course, that means they would have played level amount of games as well. Of course, a game between the Entertainers and Sloggers is yet to be played due to the weather conditions. That's been postponed and will be rearranged accordingly. But 2 points here means that they go level on points with Rugby CC, as it looks as if it's going to be Carlos Espinosa is going to be the next bowler then for for the Entertainers CC. And on the money straight away, however, gets an outside edge. And it's a single to start. Good delivery from Espinosa, who's pushing it through with an extra yard of pace or two since we last saw him here a couple of days ago. And Nestor is 4 off 11, very uncharacteristically against himself is Kenra Nestor at the moment. Short, slapped, not timed whatsoever. It'll be cut off by Andrew Bruce. And it will just be 1 to the total. No Avinash Pai with the ball yet. Also no Matthew Whelan as well, of course. Do need to remember that 3 bowlers can bowl 2 overs, and that's 2 bowlers that can just bowl the 1. Well, this one looked as if it was an almost certain leg side wide, but it just boomerang back in front of the stumps, and it's just a single. Lamin was able to push this round the corner. Snuck up on him as well. It's just been a tidy over from Espinosa, truth be told. And that one is too wide, and it will be signalled by Sebastian Maynard there. Jeremy Perez and Sebastian Maynard are the on-field, with Steve Mumford, the 3rd umpire. And this one is a very good delivery. Espinosa looking back to hope and pray that it's not been signalled a wide, and it hasn't, and rightly so, because that's just a pretty good delivery, if all truth be told. It's over, only going for 4 at the moment. Last delivery then. Oh dear, and Nestor playing all around it, and I think Nestor's in his own head. He's now 5 off of 14 deliveries. Can't get anything away, can Nestor, and he won't get the strike either. Lamin will be on strike, and a tidy over comes to an end. And at the end of the 4th, halfway stage, Pirates are 23 for 2. Story then here. Story here for the Pirates. Lorne Burns going cheaply for 2, and Reyes also just for 5. Judged to both be trapped in front by the umpires. A new bowler then is Hamid Malhotra. 51 required off of 23 deliveries now. This run rate's creeping higher and higher and higher. That's a good delivery from Malhotra. Get a single though. Nestor needs to try and find some form, otherwise he's just chewing deliveries really. And slapped hard. And they don't take the run either, and I'm not sure if that's the right tactic so early on with still half the innings left. But Nestor, he's probably thinking it's go time, and he's going to want to try and face as many deliveries as possible. Full toss, no ball. This time he does take the single, so he won't be on strike for the free hit. And rightly called a no ball as well. Free hit, slapped and slapped nicely. And that's going to be 4. They need a few more of those, but that's a beautiful shot from Michael Lamin. Waited on it pretty nicely from Malhotra. and carves away, and it's 4 more. Well, Lamin looking to be the more aggressive of the two at the moment. He now moves on to 8, and he's already taken over Nestor. And again, Nestor knows that he's capable of very good things with the bat in hand. Just at the moment, can't quite get it away for himself. And this is left, and rightly so, and they'll also come through for a bite. That's good running from Kenner, and Nestor called him through pretty much straight away as soon as he saw the misfield. It's a wide plus that bite. Amit Malhotra has only gone for 9 at the moment, trying to keep it as quiet as possible. And once again, Nestor is second guessing himself really, just needs to hold his ground and swing from the hip, and if he gets out, he gets out, but at the moment he's now 6 off 17. And even trying to push this for a single to try and keep the strike, he can't even do that. And it's a good over again, it's a quiet one, and just the one boundary means that Pirates fall further behind the run rate. And at the end of the 5th, they are 32 for 2 here then. A very good evening to everyone tuning in around the world here at the Europa Point Stadium here in Gibraltar for the 13th match of the FanCode European Cricket T10. Myself, Charlie Hunt, here on the European Cricket Network. And of course, if you weren't here earlier, then you missed, and you're wondering as to why there's only 8 overs being bowled per innings. We had a power cut in the entire country, and well, that's all there is really. We couldn't play any cricket due to no lights, so we lost 2 overs, but we were able to get back on as soon as possible. But you can see how many layers are being worn because it is that cold. And it's not getting any warmer either. Looks as if it's going to be Ashish Jani. And he starts with a wide down the leg side, and Nestor wanting the strike, and he'll come through for a run as well. Nestor then. The beanie's off, and the beanie's being removed, and we'll be hoping that that is a change of fortune for him. He's 6 off 18 at the moment, and if it was anyone else, you'd argue that you try and think about a potential tactical retirement, but this is hit nicely over the top, and that will race away for 4. That's the start of the resistance then, possibly from Kenner and Nestor, who finally gets the all-wanted boundary, and they're going to need a few more though. But that's a good start to get on their way. Nice shot, 4. And if the bowling of Jani sits up nicely, it wouldn't surprise me to see Kenner and Nestor really take a liking. He's hit some destructive shots, some monstrous 6s over the duration of this tournament already. And throws everything at it, misses it entirely. Just a simple equation of trying to overhit now from Nestor. He's early and swings all around it. And again, you can see he's starting to get frustrated. Short leg side pulled. Avinash Pai at mid-wicket. Deep mid-wicket will do the work for us. Just a single. And this is just chipped over the top from Lamin. And once more, we'll just be 1-2 the total. And again, it's another wild swing from Nestor. Now 11 off of 22. It's rare that we see someone with a strike rate of 0.5. But he's missed here. And a bit of news coming into me as well, which I'll wait for just the end of this over. Last delivery then. It's been a tidy one again from Gianni. And this will just be one leg side, which will mean that Kenroy Nestor will keep the strike. Pirates at the end of the 6th, 41 for 2. The next game, match number 14 between Entertainers and Pirates, has been delayed by 10 minutes, so that will be starting at the local time of, it says 9:30 there on your screen, but it'll be 9:40. That's when that game will get underway. So of course, due to the delay in the first innings here in Gibraltar, but you can see there a couple of changes though. Paddy Hatchman comes into the side for the Entertainers. That's a big addition at the top of the order here. That might just be where they may need that addition of power, but only time will tell to see how crucial that may be. 33 off of the last 2 overs required, needs to go at 16.5, and it's going to be yet again another change of bowling. It's going to be Andrew Bruce then. Here is Bruce then. Short, and once again mistimed. Gonzalez comes round. That will just be yet again a single. They're going to take it on, and it's misfielded. And they do come back for a second. Does mean that Nestor will keep the strike. That's good running and puts a lot of pressure on Bruce, and wasn't able to take the ball cleanly and swiftly. Good fielding though from Gonzalez. This is left by Nestor. It'll be a wide. A few more of those, and Pirates will still feel as if they're well within a chance. 30 required now. Short and missed yet again from Nestor, and that is a shot that we've typically seen him thrash into the leg side, and it normally sails away for a boundary, but for whatever reason it may be, he hasn't been able to get bat on ball. He's now 14 off of 25 deliveries. Getting a word of advice from off the field as well. And it's a good delivery, if all truth be told, from Andrew Bruce. A bit of the away nipper. And Nestor is now probably got 700 different things going through his mind. He's been in fine form all tournament, and it's come up to a must-win game for the Pirates. And he just can't get runs on the board. Hit nicely down the ground. Avinash Pai will do enough. And they're going to want to come back for the second. And they will do so. That's good running yet again in the middle between those wickets. These two know that every run is crucial, as it most likely will come down to the last, as they will have an opportunity and they'll be well within a shout of a possible victory. But they need a couple of boundaries just to get things going yet again. This is short, leg side, and this time he finally catches one. He's been waiting all 6.5 overs, but he's finally got one out of the middle, and that's gone all the way. And Pirates back in the game with that lovely shot. 6 more. Last delivery then. Short, swatted away. And this is going to be another boundary. It's another 4. And finally Nestor comes off. It's short from Andrew Bruce, and going off the history of this game, you'd say that that's probably the best place to bowl to Nestor, but we know that he can hit them away, and that's exactly what he's done, as those last 2 deliveries go for 10. And it will come down to this last over. 18 runs required for victory off 6 deliveries. Last over then, and it's going to be Avinash Pai, the skipper and the very, very experienced cricketer. Avinash Pai is going to take this final over then. Last over then. 18 runs required for victory here. Lamin, if he's being sensible, he's probably just thinking, I just want to get Nestor on strike. 18 for victory here in the last. Bat on ball. And Lamin was thinking of a second, but I don't think Nestor's even interested. I think Nestor's going to want a bit of a redemption story here. I think he's going to try and do it himself. Avinash Pai waiting to give himself this last over. He could have given himself 2, of course. 3 bowlers with 2 overs and then 2 with just 1. But he's mixed and matched things here in this game. And it's come down to the last over. Of course, match number 14, the second of the evening, will be starting 10 minutes behind schedule. That'll be at 40 minutes past 9 or 20 to 10 local time. Avinash Pai then up against Kenroy Nestor, 17 for victory, needs a boundary. Wild swing from Nestor, trying to just swing to the hills, and he knows that he needs to get a boundary from somewhere, but it's going to have to take some serious doing here up against a very well-oiled campaigner in Avinash Pai. Swung hard, leg side, 6, and Gonzalez, it was a superb effort on the boundary. However, he wasn't able to prevent that from going over. It was sailing a long, long way. He was interested all the way as well, but it was just enough to get over the 50-metre boundary, and that is a huge bonus, and that's 6 to the total, and it's now 11 required off of 3 here. Avinash Pai just needs a dot ball here. So all he'll be thinking about is a dot ball or a single. Short, and that's 6. That's all the way. And Kenroy Nestor, out of nowhere, has come right back into the frame of things in match 13. He struggled so long in this innings, but he's coming good now. And that 6 has really put a twist in the tail. And it's now a very simple 5 required off 2. Five off 2 then. A lot of pressure on these two out in the middle then. Up in the air, and at 6. Kenroy Nestor, remember the name. Superb from the opening batsman for the Pirates. He waited so long to finally find one out of the middle, and he's come off in the final over. And with some destructive hitting, he goes 6, 6, 6, 18 off 3 deliveries. And the Pirates have taken an incredible victory here up against the very strong Entertainers team. But Pirates are your winners in a very, very eventful match 13, as Pirates are your winners here by 8 wickets. Incredible stuff as we take a look at the highlights of another incredible innings. It started all too well for the Entertainers, getting 2 big wickets in Lorne Burns and Andrew Reyes. And well, this was the start for Reyes. He got a bit lucky with this one, as Whelan, in truth be told, went all over it. But then, very next up, he was given as judged in front, and he had to go for just 5. And that brought Michael Lamin, who ended up playing a very, very big part in this chase. He was there to support Kenroy Nestor, who just couldn't get going. There were so many swings and misses from Kenroy Nestor. It was unbelievable, and it was so unlike him as well. However, he was finally able to find a bit of the middle towards the back end of the innings. And well, this was a big opportunity to get a wicket, but it was put down, and it was the over that set the game up. That last penultimate over off of Bruce that went for 15, And then really it was the over against Avinash Pai. 19 off the over, and it was all due to that man there, Kenroy Nestor, who out of nowhere has taken the game completely out of the entertainers' thoughts and hit 3 demolishing sixes down the ground to take the victory for the Pirates. They now move a total of 6 points clear at the top of the table. And what an incredible scenes we've just seen here in Gibraltar, as the Pirates confirmation there are your winners by 8 wickets here in match number 13. We'll be back then in exactly 20 minutes as match 14 will be taking place at the later time of 20 to 10 local time. Don't go anywhere, do return, as these two teams will battle it out again as you're watching the FanCode European Cricket T10 with myself, Charlie Hunt, on the European Cricket Network. Good evening, welcome to match number 14 here then of the FanCode European Cricket T10 here in Gibraltar with myself, Charlie Hunt, on the European Cricket Network. And we're coming off the back of a very, very exciting first game, of course. Bit of an interrupted one due to that earlier power cut, but we managed to still get 8 overs worth of cricket in for both sides. And it's these two teams, they're going back at it once more. We can go ahead and take a look at the tops result and the lineups then for both teams here. And Pirates, they have won the toss and they have elected to bowl first here in this game. So once more the entertainers will be batting first and setting a total. As it looks, there's a change at the top of the order chart, as it looks as if it's going to be Stephen Gonzalez alongside Paddy Hatchman, who comes into this game for the entertainers, and they'll feel as if they just lost that game almost out of nowhere. It was mostly due to Kenroy Nestor, who was 6 off of about 20 odd deliveries, and then all of a sudden went on to finish on 44 not out off of 33. So it was incredible hitting from him to go 18 off the last 3 deliveries to win the game. As these two teams, of course, will go at it once more. Taking a look at the supercomputer, it's got it once more in the favours of the entertainers. It got it wrong first up. Supercomputer's not having a good time at the moment. It's struggling in this tournament. And Pirates, of course, expected to score 86. So just taking the entertainers by 8 runs or so, which was certainly going to be interesting to see how that comes about. But certainly looking forward to what will be another exciting game here then this evening. Pirates will be looking to try and take 2 from 2 in this evening's play, and they'll be hoping that they can really just push on more than anything and use the momentum that Kenroy Nestor had given them in that last game. We're ready to get things underway. We just wait for the clock to kick over towards 20 to 10 local time. On-field umpires for this game are Sebastian Maida alongside Jeremy Gomez, and then tournament referee Stefan Gooch is your third umpire for the second game of the evening. It's going to be Joshi opening the bowling then for the Pirates. Paddy Hatchman on strike. And we're ready to get things underway with Joshi. We won't be, as it's yet again another false start. Mike Seal with a good comment. Here we go then. And this is hit firmly for the first delivery, and Kenroy Nestor is straight back into the game. And it's a single to start. Good start though from Josh. He's a little bit of a loose delivery, but still good start nonetheless. Well, that's a very good start, because Gonzalez plays all round that one and he chops on with an inside edge, and Joshi gets the first wicket, and once more entertainers lose an early wicket. And similarly to the last game, this time it's 1 for 1. Well, Gonzalez goes from 0 to 0. Really, for entertainers, he batted pretty well in that first game to prevent a collapse after losing Avinash Pai really early. However, this time around, gets it all wrong, plays around the straight one, and he has to go. And he goes without scoring as well. Not the start for Stephen Gonzalez. This choice to go ahead and bat and bowl first by the Pirates is proving to come off almost straight away. As Matthew Whelan is going to come out to the middle. Take another look at this one. Just plays down the complete wrong line of it. No real foot movement. Gets stuck and plays the complete wrong shot. And he gets got. And does mean that the entertainers are now 1 for 1. Joshi straight on the money. And this time, as Matthew Whelan is the new batsman and was just caught in 2 or 3 different minds at one point. This time does take it on, and the edge flies through, and they'll come through for a single. Good running from Paddy Hatchman, who's come into the frame of things here, and he's all under a bit of pressure as the opener straight away. Bit of yes, no, maybe, a bit of hesitation, but Paddy Hatchman was well on his way. This is a full toss, and his cloth leg side. Reyes, they take on the second. Comfortable though. They will make their ground yet again, and it's another valuable 2 runs to the total. Just trying to make sure that's not a no ball, and it's not. Oh dear, and Hatchman almost hacks that onto his own stumps, but a good first over from Nishant Joshi. Early pressure on the entertainers. They are 2 for 1 after 1. 73 matches now without a golden ball here on the European Cricket Network. Of course, did have to wait 405 last year at one point. Of course, it was the Lisbon Capitals who went on to break that spell with no golden ball. Of course, the only one that isn't away. The golden ball is how here on the European Cricket Network is how we go ahead and determine the result of a match if it comes down to a tied game. So Kurti is the new bowler, and he starts with a wide. This is a full toss, it's a no ball, and Whelan just, again, not out of the middle whatsoever, and it will just be another single, but it's a no ball, and that means that Hatchman is on strike for the free hit. He takes it on down the ground, however, it's straight to Lorne Burns, and judges the ball correctly whilst dealing with the lights overhead. Good start for Nelakurti though. This one angles in, and it's right on the money, right in the block hole, and that's a tough one to get out. For the best of players, it's right in the block hole, and he did well to dig that one out and get anything on it, really. And he's on it again, and he does get the breakthrough. The second time of asking, it was a complete repetition of the previous delivery. And Suresh Nelakurti gets his first wicket in the tournament. And it's the big one to Matthew Whelan. He goes for just 2. Entertainers struggling. They are now 8 for 2. It was a carbon copy of the first of the ball previous. And this time Whelan gets caught into playing a rash shot. Well, you can see here as to what the on-watching teammate felt about that. Head in hand stuff. It looks as if that's Tom Bedson, I think, is watching on. He didn't quite like the look of that. New batsman then is Amit Malhotra, coming in at number 4. Changing things up are the entertainers, giving people an opportunity, but they need to make sure that they try and give themselves the best opportunity of a result here. That's going to be And they're just waiting on a confirmation as what's been given there. They're going to take a look at the replay. Don't think that's come off anything. I'm not too sure that. Doesn't seem as if there was anything on it. My initial reaction is that there wasn't anything off it though. Just waiting for confirmation. They're just going to see one more time. Of course, want to make the right decision. Any runs could come down to the wire. No ball bowled. Due to it bowling, bouncing in front of the crease then. So free hit time, and Hatchman will be trying to really counter on this, but he's not going to leave it. He's going to be a wide ball. It's another free hit then. And this is high in the air. He's got nothing on it. Reyes will come through, and he doesn't take the catch, and was right in doing so, but he completely misjudges the spin, and they come back comfortably for the second.
I thought you would have left it as well, to be honest.
Reyes is just pointing out he knew that it was a no ball. A couple of players forgot. Start getting on his back. Oh, that's a superb delivery. That one angling in almost to the surprise of Nelakurti, but it's a superb delivery. That angles in, that really zips in off the seam. Nelakurti with a very incredible expression on his face. And this again is a low full toss, and all Hatchman can do is slap it down the ground. It'll be a single to end the over. One wicket falls off, it goes for 9 runs at the end of the second. Entertainers 14 for 2. It looks as if Lorne Burns is going to be taking the third over. This is the updated table then. 4 points ahead are Pirates. They're now sat pretty comfortably on 10 points, if all truth be told. 2 losses for them at the moment, but 5 victories is rather outstanding, whilst other teams are struggling to find a winning way against them. Lorne Burns, though, and it's going to be another false start. I've seen a couple of them here today. I think that's the 3rd or 4th that we've had. Lorne Burns in the 3rd. And this clatters into the pad and doesn't get a lot of grip this time, does Lorne Burns. He's usually a serious spinner of the ball. Good evening, though, to everyone tuning in all around the world on FanCode or on YouTube. If you are watching on the ECN European Cricket Network YouTube channel, get involved in the live chat. This is, again, just turned over onto the onside for a single.
Go Pirates!
Goes on the sweep, does Malhotra, but it's going to clatter off the pad, and they'll come through for that single yet again. Lorne Burns then. It's been a mixture of a competition so far for him. This time just pushes offside. 2 fielders converge. It's just another single. Thank you very much, though, James Short, for those kind words. It's much appreciated. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'm coming to the end of my penultimate evening, though. And this one beats everything. Lorne Burns gets it right in the blocker, and he doesn't want to have a look at that again. But that is an incredible classic leg spinner from Lorne Burns, and he'll feel a little bit hard done by for not getting anything from it. Take another look at this one. It's a superb flight. Gets the bounce and turn as well. And that is an unfortunate 4 byes. Much appreciate that though, James. Thank you very much. It's always nice to get some feedback and nice to hear that you're enjoying the coverage. He goes for it again, and this time he will get a bit of bat on this one. Lorne Burns is hands on hips and just questioning, is there anything more he can really do? That's a bit of a picture there. Christian Rocker and Lorne Burns, not really sure what more to do, but this time he gets a bit of a nick on this one, and it races away, and it's another 4. And the over will go for 6. And at the end of the power play, Entertainers are 25 for 2. That's a picture and a half, that is. Both of them looking at each other, hands on hips. Just not really sure what else that they can do. 25 for 2 then, after 3 overs gone. You can see there those 2 wickets falling in overs 1 and 2, losing Stephen Gonzalez and Matthew Whelan as this is an edge, it's going to run away, and Snella Kurti will give chase and he will cut it off, but it's a good start for Ashish Giannani. Giannani then.
Who's bowling, Julian? Who's bowling, Julian?
And this one is just rocked back, and once more we'll just swat it into the leg side. Impress is showing their support for the Pirates. Well, you'll be a happy viewer after the first game this evening then. Ken Ernesto almost coming out of nowhere and just pulled an absolute blinder and was able to pull Pirates out of a bit of a hole. Full and in the offside. It will get through Julian Santos, and Hatchman wanted another one, but Malhotra wasn't that keen. He's on 9 off 4, or 9 off 5 at the moment. This is a full toss and struck nicely, and that is a beautiful shot from Amit Malhotra, and he will reap the rewards of another shot, because that's 4. Full toss and pounces on the fuller delivery, and it's slices and races way through the infield, and it's going to be 4 more. Giannani under a bit of pressure. That's going to be a leg side wide as well. Struggling again. This is just pushed into the offside for yet again another single. And that will be the end of the 4th over. Entertainers are 36 for 2. And it looks as if it's going to be Stephen Gilbert for the Entertainers. Is going to take the 5th over. Story so far, Stephen Gonzalez going for a golden quacker. He was bowled by Nishan Josh. It was a beautiful delivery. And then Snella Kurti got Matthew Whelan after 2 superb deliveries. It was the second one that got him. Gilbert starts with a wide down the offside this time. Extras are playing a rather crucial role in this tournament. There's been certainly has been a few. Well, this stays low, and this is just chipped by Malhotra. And it is just kept to a single due to the good work from Angie Reyes. Carves this away. Again, a nice shot from Hatchman. He's just dealing in singles at the moment. Well, he wants the second. Malhotra's holding his ground, and Hatchman is not happy. He wants the second, and he wants the strike. Well, this time is dragged, and Rocker just gets a hand on it. Well, that's what Gilbert's saying he wants to do. He's just struggling to pull it off yet. Malhotra this time into the onside. And they'll stroll through for a single. Lorne Burns taking on, having a bit of a race with Michael Lammin, and Lorne Burns out of nowhere just pips Lammin to the ball, and that creates a bit of a laughter around the ground. Of course, these games are all being played in wonderful spirit. It's another wide.
Stand up, mate. Stand up. Stand up.
Gilbert just falling off his run up more than anything, doesn't quite finish it through. This time gets right on the money, and all Hatchman can do is just push it once more down the ground for a single. Shaw up in the air, opportunity. Reyes coming in and puts it down. Momentum was really making it a little bit difficult for Andrew Reyes, but Stephen Gilbert was probably hoping to have got his first wicket, but it wasn't meant to be, and it was a single then. Last delivery of the fifth. They'll take on the arm. The direct hit would have been gone, and they're going to think of buzzers. Estel's there to do the rest of the work, and it will just be single. Hatchman keeps a strike, and Gilbert had in hands, and at the end of the fifth over, Entertainers are 45 for 2. Could have left it for a wide, but you can see here it would have been gone by a long way. It was a good shot at the stumps. It was a good effort. And he was lucky as well because it didn't cost them anything else. Good evening, though, from a chilly and cold Gibraltar here at the most southern point of Europe, at the Europa Point Stadium. It's my absolute pleasure to be calling the games here. Charlie Hunt for the European Cricket Network. And again, it's been very, very eventful evening once more. It's never a dull moment here in Gibraltar and on the European Cricket Network especially. And it was a very, very enjoyable first game due to the incredible, well, somewhat unfortunate delay due to the light shortage, the electricity power cut. And well, Reyes starts, and could be a chance of more here. And it will just be 2, but that's good running though from Entertainers. That's live action, and back on the money straight away is Andrew Reyes.
Right, Reyes.
And it's a well-earned dot ball. Well, this time, it's a bit of in movement. And they'll come through for a single. Again, just being able to keep on top of them, of the Pirates, after those early wickets. Comes down and swats into the onside. And yet again, Stephen Gilbert, he's been a busy man the last couple of overs. And it's another single. This is a lovely shot. However, it's straight to the man, and it's taken. And that is another excellent catch. He's taken a couple of decent ones already as Michael Lammin, but add that to the list. It was straight at him, didn't really have to move. And Paddy Hatchman was trying to get on with things, but he goes for 19 off 20. And It's the third wicket to fall. Entertainers are now 49 for 3. Good catch, though, from Lamin. And that was could be a potentially interesting moment in the game as Hatchman goes. No sign of Avinash Pai, who is holding himself back a little bit here at the moment.
Great stuff, Mikey.
The new batsman makes his way out to the crease, then does the new batter. And it's an interesting one, though, as looks like that's Ashish Jani. As Chris Smith just asking, what day is last commentary? Tomorrow evening is my last day of commentary. And then you've got Rico Full will be calling the games for the next week from Saturday onwards. I know he's looking forward to coming down to Gibraltar and getting involved. But yeah, my last day of comms is tomorrow. And then I make the drive back home, which is a 7-hour drive. And then I'm back off to university in Wembley on the Sunday. And then I'm off to South Africa in a couple of weeks as well, which is going to be fun. I'll be paying attention to what's going on though in Gib, but also in Malta as well. Finishing off the over then. Johnny just pushes this, and it could be a mix-up here, and he's gone. Well, that's come out of nowhere, and it's 2-2. Amit Malhotra was trying to rotate the strike, and it was a good bit of fielding, and also good work from Rez, because it was slung in by the fielder, and it will eventually mean that Malhotra goes for 18 as well, and all of a sudden 2 fresh batsmen are at the crease. And at the end of the 6th, then Taylor's are now 49 for 4. Great bit of work from Julian Santos. Out of nowhere as well, and it was a bit of an unforced error from the Entertainers batsman, but Amit Malhotra will go. And 49 for 4 then after 6. So the new batsman is the left-handed Gideon Crichton, who will be on strike as well due to the rotation. Gideon Crichton on strike then, as Julian Santos is rewarded after an excellent bit of fielding with an over, and he starts with a wide down the leg side. Crichton then batting out of his crease. And he's gone. It's the Yorker from Santos, and he gets a bit of inward movement. And, well, this is a serious middle-order collapse from Entain as they are falling now, and they've fallen to 49 for 5. Crichton goes for without scoring. As a super delivery from Julian Santos. It's right in the block hole. Superb Yorker. He Yorks himself by being out of the crease. New bowler, or new batsman I should say, is Avinash Pai coming in at number 7. And it'd be interesting to know as to why. I think it is just due to rotation. Of course, it's a long tournament, wanting to give enough people as much cricket as possible. He comes in at number 7, and he's going to have to go for the next 3.4 overs or so. But Julian Santos straight away in the wickets. And Avinash Pai, he does look as if he's a little bit restricted and is hobbling a little bit as he makes that run, is off the mark straight away. Gianni is none off of his single delivery that's been faced. Well, this is a top edge. And taken! Superb catch for Ashish Gianani. Well, if that reaction is anything to go by his teammates, I don't think they were backing him to take that catch. But it's a superb catch and it's another duck. And Ashish Gianani goes for a very circular zero. And at the second time of asking, he is removed by the catch of Gianani. And it's now 50 for 6 for the entertainers. And he will be making that long walk back, and it's the third duck that we've seen. One of them was a gold, and the other two were off 2 deliveries, and this is now proving to be almost a collapse of incredible proportions here. Mike Seals, I don't think he was backing himself there. I don't think his teammates were backing himself either, but good to see that he got his catch. And now it looks as if that's going to be Andrew Bruce. He's going to make his way out to the middle. Here he is then, Andrew Bruce. And it's a dot ball to start. And it's a very good over from Julian Santos. But you can see there Avinash Pai, that right knee giving him a bit of jip. And it's always been an issue for Pai, especially when he's been on representing Gibraltar. He's always carried a couple of injuries. And it's that right knee that's giving him a bit of bother at the moment. Full and very well executed. And a superb over from Julian Santos comes to an end. And he goes for 2 for 1 off his first over. And at the end of the 7th, Entertainers struggling at 50 for 6. $50 for 6 then on the board at the moment. And with 3 overs left, they'll be hoping to try and possibly try and get up to around possibly 70. They'll be happy with 70 on the board at this stage with 50 for 6. And not much left to come in. Good information coming my way is that we haven't got Louis Bruce, but being told that Andrew Bruce is one Louis Bruce's father. So we lose one, but we gain another. Avinash Pai on strike with Lorne Burns returning. And you can see Avinash Pai is not comfortable on that knee. There you go there, Andrew Bruce, the father of Louis Bruce, taking his place in the team today. That's a firm cover drive, and it really doesn't get much better than that. That is a shot that we will happily watch over and over and over again. Lovely shot from Avinash Pai. Shows he's still got it. It's a lovely shot. 4 more. There he is. Louis Bruce has also jumped into the chat as well, saying he's not well. We hope you have a speedy recovery as Avinash Pai takes a step across, and this will just be a single. Sorry to hear that, Lou. We hope that you make a speedy recovery as soon as possible. Many people will be wanting to get you back on screen. Louis Bruce then missing out due to illness. Confirmation of that by the man himself. He's sent hopefully an ample replacement in his place, as he's sent his father, Andrew Bruce, yet to get off the mark then. And this is leg side, but that's an excellent stop from Stephen Gilbert. That's superb. That was 3 runs, most definitely, that have been saved. Diving down to his left. It was struck well, and he manages to get a palm on it. That's a superb bit of fielding. Again, just pushed into the offside, will just be a single. Oh dear, well, Nestor takes a bit of a slip, and they come back for the second, and it's all happening here. You can see here he just slips entirely, loses his footing, or his footing on that second attempt. Last delivery then. Last ball for Lorne Burns as well. It's the wrong one and almost pays off, but Avinash Pai was equal to it. Lorne Burns goes wicketless, and at the end of the 8th over, Entertainers 58 for 6.
Together. Do you want to come here alone, or do you want to...
Andrew Reyes looks as if he's going to take this 9th over then. And nice to see a bit of support for Louis Bruce in the chat as well. Fan favourite, that's for sure. Let us know where everyone's watching from. Let's have a bit of a call out. Let's get some information on our viewers. Let us know where you're watching from. We want to see how far the European Cricket Network is reaching. This is round the corner, and once more it's Stephen Gilbert, and it's another, just a single, because it's straight to the man, and he gets a good hand on it, and it's just one more. Good evening to Shrug, who joins us. A very good evening to you. Hope you're okay. Thanks for joining us, Shrug. It's been an eventful one. You missed an eventful power cut, which meant we were offline for a matter of moments, and that's gone. And Andrew Bruce can't quite replicate what his son Louis Bruce has been capable of in this tournament. And he goes for just one. It's the 7th wicket to fall.
Off the wicket.
And at the fall of the 7th wicket, Entertainers are 60 for 7. Mike Seal watching from Hampshire. Very good to know. Mike, I'm assuming that means you're a supporter of Hampshire County Cricket Club. Good delivery from Reyes, though. Right in the block hole, in swinging Yorker. New batsman is Singh. Harshdeep Singh then, as they need to try and find some boundaries at the moment. And it's another one. And he steps back to a full delivery, gets it all wrong, does Harshdeep Singh. And all of a sudden, Andrew Reyes is on the verge of a hat-trick. Gets 2 in 2, and it's now 60 for 8. And Entertainers are now on the verge of getting themselves bowled out. New batsman then is going to be Tom Bedson, who's going to be on a, he's going to be facing a hat-trick delivery. We yet to have a hat-trick ball in 2023 yet. And it could be occurring here. And it's Andrew Reyes then, on a hat-trick up against Tom Bedson. Just needs to get it right and full. And he doesn't do so. It'll be a dot ball, and good bit of work though from Rocker to be paying attention. We see here he starts outside. He's lucky he shuffles back a little bit. It's still an excellent over though from Reyes at the moment. Avinash Pai's just watched it all unfold at the other end. And this is just pushed out, and it'll be another dot ball.
On the ring, boys. He's not going to take it.
Reyes then looking to close off a very tidy over. And he will do so with an excellent dot ball. And that is another serious bit of bowling from Andrew Reyes. He finishes with excellent figures of 3 for 5. And at the end of the 9th, N10 is 60 for 8. Last over then, and it looks like it's going to be Nishant Joshi. He took 1 for 4. He's going to bowl the last over. Avinash Pai will start with a dot ball, well fielded from the man on the circle. And it's a good start for Joshi. He starts with a dot ball. Advances down the track. Josh is trying to pick up another star wicket. He already was able to take Steven Gonzalez, but he's trying to take Avinash Pai now. 2 dot balls to start the last over. Well, that's going to be a wide. That's outside the line. Joshi gets that one a little bit wrong. That goes into out and manages to find the outside edge, and they will take on the single, which will bring Bedson on strike, who's yet to get off the mark after facing 3 deliveries. Trying to get up towards 70 to just have something to defend, and well, that's an interesting one. They're going to want to just take a look just to see if that's bounced twice before the crease, and it has. So that should be, if I'm not mistaken, called a no ball. 1, 2, and then bounces in front, and has been called a no ball. Joshi will not get his wicket of Tom Bedson. And he now is a no ball, and Tom Bedson will be taking on a free hit. Free hit then for Tom Bedson. It's a really good opportunity to get off the mark. And the last over as well, he's going to want to try and take it on. Full toss, hit and hit well, and it'll be 4. Much to the applause from his teammates on the sidelines. Tom Bedson finally gets off the mark, and it's with a nice shot leg side, 4 more. Brings them on to 67 then with 2 deliveries left. Can Bedson try and get 1 or 2 more boundaries to his name? And he can't. He plays all round this one, and he has to go after a nice boundary. Joshy has the last word. He gets his revenge. It's his second, and it's 9 overs down now with a single delivery left. Entertainers 67 for 9. Another wicket for Joshy then. As in walks Charles Borastero, coming in at number 11. He's got a single delivery left to face. As Joshy looking for his third. Borastero, he's going to be trying to get anything on this.
Boys, there's one ball to come. Boys, there's one ball to come. There's no point being up.
Last delivery then. Avinash Pai doesn't look as if he's ready to go anywhere. Borastero. He slaps this and slaps this well. They'll come through. No one backing up, so they will come through for a single. And that will be the end of a lackluster performance with the bat for the Entertainers. They will finish on 68 for 9 after their 10 overs, setting 69 for victory for Pirates here in match number 14. We'll go ahead and take a look at the highlights then of the first innings then, and it was a bit of a lackluster one. Gonzalez went first ball, and it was really just the beginning of the end for Entertainers, as it didn't really look as if anyone else could get going. Matthew Elam went bowled by Suresh Nelakurti. He went for 2 off of 5 deliveries. Malhotra was a bit of a, well, tried to show a bit of resistance alongside Paddy Hatchman, and it wasn't really much else apart from that. Malhotra finishing on 18. Paddy Hatchman finishing top scoring on 19 off of 20. Extras were then third in the run scorers list with 12. A very disappointing end to the evening for the batting unit of Entertainers. There was just nothing, just felt as if there wasn't really much left in the tank. And that was a good catch though from Michael Lamont to remove the dangerous Paddy Hatchman, and that was kind of the beginning of the end really. Jani came in alongside Gideon Christian, and then Malhotra next delivery was run out at the non-striker's end, and then Gideon Christian came in and he was bowled after 2 deliveries. It's a very good over from Julian Santos, who finished with excellent figures of 2 for 1 off his 1 over. That was the next catch. It was a good catch. I don't know if many were predicting it from Ashish Ginanani. And then Avinash Pai came in at number 7, holding a bit of an injury. He hit a lovely boundary. And then Andrew Bruce, the father of Louis Bruce, also couldn't add much. He only went for 1. And that was 1 of 3 for Andrew Reyes. This was next up. It was Singh to add to the list, 3 off 5. And then that was a wicket off a no ball, so that obviously didn't count. And then free hit, Tom Bedson dispatched into the leg side, and that was 4 more. He was then bowled all ends up next delivery, and then Charles Borastero came into the crease at the end and managed to get a single, which meant that Entertainers finished on 68 for 9. We'll be back then in around about 7 minutes or so, as we will see if Pirates are up to the task, as they've been set 69 for victory. You're watching match 14 of the FanCode European Cricket T10 here in Gibraltar. Good evening, welcome to the final part of this evening's play then, the second innings of match number 14 between Entertainers and Pirates. Pirates have been set exactly 69 to win then, and they've sent in the big boy in Kenroy Nestor. He's going to be trying to continue where he left off, not where he started, but where he left off. And certainly looking forward to this, as Nestor went 18 off the last 3 deliveries that he faced. So certainly he'll be hoping that he can continue where he left off, as we're ready, almost ready to get things underway. It's going to be Harshdeep Singh. You can hear that. Bit of chat for Kenroy. Harshdeep Singh then. And this is going to pop up, and it will be a dot ball to start. Good evening to everyone, though, tuning in all around the world on FanCode and on YouTube. It's a pleasure to bring you the coverage of these 2 games yet again here this evening. And this is down the ground, and this will be 1 bounce for. And Kenroy Nestor getting things early, underway early, I should say. And that's a nice way to open up your runs target. And this is a 4 in the leg side. Shrug asking if this is my last night. Nope, tonight's my penultimate night. So last evening for me will be tomorrow before I make the drive home, the 7-hour drive home on Saturday. But Rico will be taking my place, so leaving it in more than capable hands here in Gibraltar. Nestor moves on to 4 already. And this is high in the air. It's an opportunity. It's a tough one, though. And it is taken. That's a superb catch from Paddy Hatchman. That had snow on it as it came back down, as it re-entered the atmosphere. And Kenroy Nestor goes 4 and out, because he goes for 1-2, tries to take on 1 too many, skies it into the air, and he goes. And the first wicket falls, and Pirates are 4 for none. That went high in the sky, and it's a super catch from Paddy Hatchman. It has to be said, as it was a tough one. But he's safe as houses down at long on. Lorne Burns coming in at number 3. A bit of a competition then. Lorne Burns coming in at number 3. He's not in the best of form. Thinking him early, we're on for a real contest. This is a full toss and driven, and it's a dot ball to start. Singh, 1 for 4 already. Another full toss, this time driven nicely. And Matthew Whelan will come round to cut it off. And it's just a single. Michael Lamond yet to face a delivery as well. He's just watched Nestor go dot, boom, wicket. And Lorne Burns has come to join him. And Lamond gets bad on ball, and he'll keep the strike with a single push down to vacant third man region, and that will be a single to end the over. And after the first over, interesting one for both sides. Kenroy Nestor goes early, and it's 6 for 1. Andrew Bruce then is going to take this second over. Michael Lammin on strike, who's just 1 off 1. 63 runs off 54 is the equation. That's going to be a wide. It's also going to be an extra run as well, as it clatters off the pad of Bodestedo. Appreciate all the kind words in the chat as well. I do mean it when I say thank you, that it's very much appreciated. And this is just dropped and ran. In fact, it's not ran, it's just dropped. It's a dot ball. Good start for Andrew Bruce though, after that first delivery that went wide. Just pushed down the ground again, not really timed from Lorne Burns. It will just be yet again another single. And Bruce gets the wicket. It's full, it's straight, and Lammin plays all round it. And Entertainers are putting themselves well in this game once again. 2 early wickets, and Pirates, they are 9 for 2. Missing that one entirely. He's frustrated as well, and understandably so. Missing out on that one means he has to go. 9 for 2 now. New batsman makes their way to the crease, and the batter's got a lot of work to do. Still 60 off of 51, however. Wickets could be crucial, as the new batsman is Sulesh Nelakurti. And this is start with a full. There's a couple of appeals, but Lorne Burns was certainly back in his ground. But a good confident shot early on for Nelakurti. Pulled straight to the man at square leg. Good bit of fielding from Ashish Jani, and it's another single. Pulled nicely, however, once more it's straight to Jani, and it's again superb bit of fielding. Anyone that's been at square leg today has fielded superbly, and it's another single. And that brings us to the end of the second. Pirates struggling slightly, 11 for 2. Updated standings after the first game this evening, then Pirates moving to 10 points. They now go 4 points clear at the top of the table. A victory here for the Pirates would make them 6 points clear, and it would be a real struggle to almost claw them back. But plenty of cricket still left to be played, 25 days to be precise, as pointed out by, I believe it was Chris earlier. Louis Bruce showing his appreciation for his dad's wicket. Oh, it's nice to see. I think that's just the beauty of European cricket, especially all around Europe. You see a lot of family playing a lot of cricket together. This is an outside edge, straight to Bedson, and it's all happening. There's a shy at the stumps. There's a collision halfway down the track. It's just all too much. Inside asking, saying, "We miss you, Louis. What happened to you?" Well, I'm sure Louis is typing an answer as I speak, but he's the short answer is he's not feeling great. He's a bit ill. That's the short answer. Well, this is a wide, and they'll also take a run. That one is it's a good take there from Bodostedo. Continuing here is Harshdeep Singh. And Lorne Burns missing out on a shorter, wider delivery.
Good shot.
And well, this take off the wide. It was an excellent bit of keeping from Bodostedo. Superb work to get a glove on that one. This time short, pulled nicely, however, straight to Gonzalez this time. Oh, Shrug's got an interesting opinion on Burns in the chat. Of course, Burns selected for the Spanish team that takes on the Isle of Man in a bilateral series later on in February. Well, this is Fuller, an excellent delivery, and they're also going to take on a quick single. Miss field from Bodostedo. Burns then, he's on 5 off 8 at the moment. He hasn't come off yet in the tournament early on. What a time it would be to do so. Struck firmly, but good work from Bruce. Good stop though from Bruce. Again, struck firmly. This is a nice shot. It's going to race away. I think Crichton will get there. He will. And it should just be 2 and will be. And it brings us to the end of the power play. 18 for 2 for the Pirates with 3 overs down. And that's the story so far. Look at that collapse from the 6th over onwards. 2 wickets, 2 wickets, no wickets, 2 wickets, 1 wicket. That's pretty crazy 4 or 5 overs or so. Andrew Bruce is going to continue after a good first over. Went for 5, picked up a wicket. He's going to continue. And should have started with the dot ball, but it's another single. Given as a bye by the on-field umpire. Let's get some interesting facts. If you've got some crazy facts, doesn't have to be Gibraltar related. Give me something in the chat. There's a few people watching. I know everyone's tuning in. Let's get some facts in. Give me some useless facts for example. This time leg side. Again, clipped. Should just be a single. Hatchman will collect for what will just be a single. Shrug asking, are Ishen showing the Spain versus Isle of Man games? I don't believe we are, but I do know that Cricket España are looking into doing something for that. Not too sure on what that is at this moment, but I know that there is going to be some form of coverage. But it won't be on the European Cricket Network as far as I'm aware. Up in the air. And taken. Good catch, Paddy Hatchman. Again, it was high in the air and he was looking to take it cleanly, and that's exactly what he did, and it's the 3rd wicket to fall. It's Suresh Nilakurthi. He goes for 1. Pirates 20 for 3. Yeah, let's get some useless facts in. Let's get some stuff going then. Let's see what we can do. Surprise me with what we can do. I know Louis Bruce is sat there. Got a few up his sleeve, I'd imagine. I know Shrug's got a few, and I also know for a fact that James has got a few as well. So, see what we can do. Surprise me. Richard Cunningham is the new man to the middle, coming in at number 5. Yet to see him with the bat in hand this tournament, so a rare opportunity for Richard. James Stewart says, bad shot, easy catch. Don't know if that's a useful fact, but I know that's obviously just a simple piece of information pointed out by James Stewart. Richard Cunningham then has played for Gibraltar. And is a serious fielder when he wants to be, and he's also been handy with the ball. He's going to be batting here with Lorne Burns, and starts comfortably with a dot ball. And Cunningham goes. Bruce picks up his 3rd now. He'll be pretty certain that Louis is going to be watching there, and Andrew Bruce picks up his 3rd. It's now 20 for 4 for the Pirates. And Andrew Reyes then has given an opportunity to other players, and he's now coming in. He's probably going to be trying to do the business. Oh, there we go. Mike Seal with a good fact. Cricket in Gibraltar was established in 1895. That's always a good one. I'm going to believe whatever you say as well. I'm not going to challenge you. I just want to see what anyone can throw at me. I need to learn something new for the day. See what we can do. New batsman Andrew Reyes then. And he's very early on this one. That's a dot ball, and that brings a very impressive spell. Comes to an end, and Andrew Bruce finishes with superb figures. 3 for 6 off his 2 overs. 20 for 4 after 4. Story so far, Nestor went bang 4 and then also went caught after a good catch from Paddy Hatchman. He went for 4. Michael Lamin went for just the 1. And Sudesh Nilakurti also just struggled as well, as did Richard Cunningham. Just faced 2 deliveries and was out on the 2nd. Here is Crichton then. Crichton straight on the money straight away. And this will be just a single to start. Serious nip in though from Crichton straight away. He's bowled very well this tournament. Nips in again and gets tucked for room, does Reyes. Crichton's got 4 wickets in the tournament. 3 of those came in once. 3 for 9 against the Sloggers. That's a good one from Shrug. After World War II, there were only 7 apes left on Gibraltar, but Churchill ordered new ones to be brought from Africa. Now there's about 300. Well, there you go. Seen a couple here in Gibraltar this year. Whilst being here, Reyes just pushes offside for it. What will just be 1. A lot of the Pirates' hopes rest in these 2 at the moment. Lorne Burns is 9 off 12. Reyes is off the mark with that 1 run. Crichton then up against Lorne Burns, and That's another good delivery. All Lorne Burns can do is just make that with the full face of the bat. Good. Again, an excellent start this from Crichton. Advances, Yorks himself. And Lorne Burns is getting very frustrated now. He can't quite get it away. And once again, this is just proving to be an interesting chase, isn't it? Oh, this is a wide, and that's going to be 5 wides. It is. Not even Bedson can cut this off, and that's going to help proceedings for Pirates. That one just gets past the outstretched leg of Charles Bottestedo, and it races away. It's going to be 5 legs down that. 5 wides down the leg side.
Go on, kids, come on, mate.
Lorne Burns still on strike. Oh, and this is just clipped. And it should just be one, and will be. Apologies for the lack of on-screen graphics, just an issue our end. But that will bring us to the end of the over. And at the end of the over, Pirates are 23 for 4. Good evening then. Welcome to the commentary box here in Gibraltar. This game is coming to an interesting close. 9 runs required and over. 47 runs off 31 is the ask. That's now 46 off 30, of course, after that single. But it's, again, an interesting competition as one team fails, another team starts to fail in the similar department. Just seems as if all teams look rather equal to each other at the moment. They just can't seem to make a victory seem pretty comfortable. They always seem to be able to get one back on each other. But it's proving to be an interesting competition now. Avinash Pai is going to take us here into the 6th over. And Lorne Burns will just push this leg side. Shrug saying extreme close-up on a chilly-looking Charlie there. Well, you're not wrong, really. It is a bit of a closer angle. Some have said it's an improvement. Some have said otherwise. I'd agree with others, but such is life. Down the track, it's an appeal, but pitching a long way outside leg, and most likely impacting a lot outside leg stump as well. Impact outside, pitching outside, everything wrong with that. Good appeal though. It was a good attempt. Pulled nicely yet again. However, straight to Johnny, and that's again excellent fielding. Watches it all the way in the end. Does Johnny? It's just another single. Luke Belgium asking some questions and doing an interview in the chat by the looks of things. Asking Louis Bruce what you'd like to achieve in cricket. Louis Bruce with a very mature answer. Down the track, and again Hatchman should just cut this off for a single and will do. Yeah, Louis with a very mature answer. It's taking every day as it comes, seeing where cricket can take me. It's not a bad answer if you don't ask me. I think Louis Bruce has been media trained. And that'll be a dot ball, and that's again a tidy over up to this point. It's still all to play for. This is not all over yet. Last delivery then. And again will just be one. Lorne Burns will keep the strike. And at the end of the 6th over, Pirates are 33 for 4. And Mars, I believe that's probably Mars Goodfellow in the chat saying, come on the bot. No, we've lost some form of power. I think we're still live. I'm going to carry on and assume that we're still live. We've lost some power again. So something's switched off. Carrying on then here as well. This could be an appeal, but to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you what's happening as we've lost some form of power. We're not too sure as to what's happened here. Apologies, just a little pause and play for an area on us, but this is just push. People confirming I'm still alive. That's always good to know, because I wasn't too sure. I thought we were having a repeat of what had happened earlier. For those of you that weren't with us earlier, we had a massive power cut out of nowhere. It felt very similar to what that was. Down the track. Well, this has come off somewhere. And it's going to run away. And it's going to be 5 wides. And it's not a good start for getting Crichton of this over. Apologies, having a few technical issues here. So we're just trying to get everything back up and running.
Come on, kids, come on, mate.
Commentating a little bit blind at the moment. And well, that's signalled wide. And that's going to be a wide. They also get a run off it as well. So apologies if something just goes wrong a little bit here. And this is just pushed offside.
Bowlers in, bowlers in.
And this will just be a single. Back to full connection is, that's always good. Catch up on what's going on. 27 off 21 required then. Reyes pushes this leg side. They're going to take on the arm. It's a wayward throw, and that's unlike Steven Gonzalez. He's furious with himself. And it's another 2 to the total, and this could be coming down to a tight finish. Struck firmly down the ground. Whelan gets there and manages to get a knee on this one. I think he's okay. Just need to check that he's not made any contact with the rope. Just see, I think he's okay. Good bit of work off the knee of Matthew Whelan. Shot pulled firmly. Gonzalez, the chase is on and cuts round. That's good work. Good bit of fielding to come round and prevent that from going for a boundary. And again, this match looks like it's going towards the latter stages. At the end of the 7th, 46 for 4 on the board. Well, confirmation that that one hurt then from Matthew Whelan. He might be able to pick that up through the effects mic.
Oh, Magnet. Big area there, Magnet.
Wait, hang on,
There's,
We've got 6 out, haven't we?
1 second.
there's going to be a change here.
Wait. Wheel in. Harsh day. What, Tommy, go on, mate.
Tom Bedson is going to be the bowler to take us into the 8th then. 23 off 18. Oh dear, that's a no ball. Not a good start for Bedson. Not much more to say about that one. Welcome back, Ivan B. Always good to have you. Always good to welcome you back. It's nice to have you back as well. This is flat batted down the ground. That's an excellent cricket shot from Lorne Burns.
Go through.
And apologies for any language you may have just heard and picked up on the effects. Not much we can do about that, but that was a lovely shot.
Yeah.
That was pounced after the man was moved from long off to mid off, and he hit it exactly where he was. Lovely shot, 4 more.
Oh, yeah, all that, yeah. Nice one, mate.
Struggling if you can't clear that.
So all of a sudden it's at just under or just over a run of ball from here on in. And this is going to be a leg side wide, and Bedson just can't get it on the right start here. Six off the only legal delivery then. Well, that's an interesting shot from Lorne Burns. He was adamant on hitting that leg side and managed to somehow get around to pulling it onto the onside. Of course, we'll be back for Friday evening cricket once again tomorrow. Sloggers take on Rugby CC. As that, of course, will be getting underway at 7:30 local time. This is off the pad, and it will be a leg by as well. That's now 16 off 16 is the run required. 15 off 15 now. And that's going to be another leg side wide. Bedson just trying to get through the over. That's a good delivery. And Burns will just push this down the ground yet again for another single. Mike Zeal saying the beers are in the fridge all ready for tomorrow's session. It's nice to hear. I hope you enjoy. It'll be my final evening in Gibraltar tomorrow. Reyes down the ground. One bounce 4. Very nice shot. Andrew Reyes, and all of a sudden Pirates looking as if they're going to come to a pretty comfortable victory. That was full and in the slot. And Andrew Reyes pounces on exactly that delivery. And that's a nice shot. 4 more. 7 needed then, off 13. Last delivery of the 8th over here. Carves away offside, Singh on the boundary. It'll just be a single. Reyes will keep the strike then, and it's now 6 required off the last 2 overs. And at the end of the 8th, 61 for 4 on the board. Shrug with a terrible, terrible idea, saying ice bucket challenge on the last night. Well, that's not happening. That is not happening. Something else is happening, but, well, potentially happening. Depends on what happens tomorrow, but it won't be an ice bucket challenge. Bowlers need to try and pluck something out of nothing here. That's 8 runs, in fact, so the score's obviously been adjusted. 8 runs needed off the last 12 then. That's a better suggestion, James. That's much better. All happens in the 9th. This is away into the offside straight away again, and it should just be a single. Of course, those 2 games tomorrow. Rugby CC taking on Sloggers at 7:30 and then 9:30. Mike's saying Charlie doing a stump race. No, is the simple answer to that one. Next. That's another leg side wide, and that's going to run away. And it's going to be 5 wides. And that is not what you want to see from Johnny. Lorne Burns wasn't able to get anything on it. And unfortunately, neither was Bonastedo. And that means that it's now 2 runs for victory. As the squeeze is now being applied. Everyone's in apart from deep square leg. 2-2 to win then. And that will be all she wrote. Pirates will take the victory then. And it's Lorne Burns who is the man who hits the winning runs. And that's a splendid bit of batting from Lorne Burns. Didn't look the most comfortable at times, but was still able to do the job that was asked. And he was able to go ahead and stick around and hit those winning runs, as they are the winners here. Pirates in match number 14. They are the winners by 6 wickets. Taking a look then at the highlights for the second innings here in match number 14. It was a very interesting start. Nestor went big into the leg side, went 1 bounce 4, and then very next delivery went up in the air, went sky high. And it was eventually a very good catch from Paddy Hatchman, and you just wondered, well, maybe there's a twist in the tail after a disappointing time with the bat. The entertainers could maybe come in and do something with the ball. Andrew Bruce bowled very well as well. That was 1 of 3 wickets for him. That was an excellent stop, though, from Monasterio. And it was, again, an incredible bit of batting from Lorne Burns. 26 off 28. Again, struggled at times, but was able just to stick around, and that was what was needed. There was one point that they were looking as if they were going to struggle to get towards the total of 69, but they were able to do so, mostly due to Andrew Reyes and to Lorne Burns, but Lorne Burns finishing on 26 off 28, not out. But Andrew Reyes 11 off 11 as well, with a nice 4 down the ground. But that was a really good shot. They brought that man up and he went, that's fine, I'll hit him right back over his head. That was the best of the shots there for Andrew Reyes. He finishes on 11 off 11, not out as well. And then that was pretty much all she wrote. Apart from that, it was a shot into the leg side from Lorne Burns, and then that was pretty much all she wrote. Pirates, they are your winners then here in match number 14, taking a victory by a total of 6 wickets then. And it's again been an absolute pleasure to bring you the coverage of the FanCode European Cricket T10 here in Gibraltar. And again, a huge thanks to everyone here on the ground. So first of all to Spring Productions. Again, without those 2 guys, there is nothing that really gets shown on your screens for you guys to enjoy back at home. So to Andres, to Romans and to Richard, you guys are incredible and have been over the last week. And of course, I've got one more night here in Gibraltar, and I can't wait to be working with you guys for one more night later tomorrow. But of course, the Blue Crew, led by Mida, the project manager, and then by tournament referee Stefan Gooch, and then our scorer Samir and Manav. And then also supported by Marzi, who's here at the moment. He'll be taking over from Ida in a couple of days. But also to our umpires as well. Without them, none of this is, of course, you know, really capable of taking place. Someone has to do one of the hardest jobs in cricket, and we're lucky to have a pretty good set here in Gibraltar. They've been incredible over the last week, and of course they'll be continuing and only getting better, is what I'm assuming anyway. And of course, a huge thanks to all of our viewers, to all the moderators, keeping the community that we've managed to create here very, very elegant. And again, it's been incredible. Again, it's been very, very enjoyable to bring you the coverage here. But do remember, we'll be back at 7:30 local time, Rugby CC. They're taking on Sloggers. That's going to be a very exciting game. Until then, my name's been Charlie Hunt. You're watching the FanCode European Cricket T10 here on the European Cricket Network. Good night.